This is my 1970s-ish Ford 555 backhoe that we got Randwin parked from Clint from CNC Equipment. He trucked this thing down for us, and we've done a ton of work to it. We've had some successes, we've definitely had some failures. The biggest failure to date has been whenever I tried to modify this with a quick attach, and it ended up coming apart on us. Now, we ended up reinforcing this end of that quick attach operation, and we put it to the test with the loader doing some work around the old YouTube yacht here, little rental cabin, boat themed build we're in the process of doing. And we put that loader to the test, and it seemed to hold up pretty well. But the issue is my forks are still broken. We've got to get that fixed, and a couple other odds and ends on this unit to make it a little bit more user-friendly for us. I don't know what we're getting into today, but I know we got to get it done. First thing we're doing, how you like that, is going to be replacing the voltage regulator on this. So the battery is always dead, and we're constantly jumping this. The battery over here, the battery itself, ignore the dirt. We need to put the cover on at some point, sure, don't we? But we got to jump it all the time. Is only a year old, and the battery holds charge fine. If I take that, go put it on the trickle charger, she does great. She'll take the whole charge. Trickle charger likes it, says everything is good and happy. We'll get her fully charged. We'll run it, then eventually it'll get low enough that she won't start anymore. We also replaced the alternator when we did this. Now she's got a brand new alternator on her, and some of the wiring that goes back to the battery as well. And a ton of people also suggested putting a disconnect switch on, and I agree 100%. That's why over a year ago, whenever we started doing this project, we put a disconnect switch on, which means that power is not getting from the brand new alternator that tests fine down to the battery, which tests fine. So something between there and there is the issue. The only thing between there and there is some wiring, which we have plenty of, and a $20 voltage regulator, which I figure might as well go ahead and replace it while we're at it. I'd really like to get that fixed right off the bat because I'm getting tired of wasting time jumping this thing. I do want to get this fired up and double check the alternator just to make sure. We're probably going to cheat and give her a little shot of the nose candy this morning just to, you know, I don't want to risk it. I've got a limited amount of time today. A little snoot there. Motor pressure looks good. We'll back it off just a little bit. I do want to test that alternator before we get started here. Let's just double check what we're saying. Little ice bucket challenge. Oh yeah. Oh gosh. What we get down here. Well, surprising fact in the morning, that alternator, that old power maker, she's only putting out 12.2 volts, and it is coming all the way through to the battery at 12.2 volts. It's not enough. It needs to be closer to 14. Yeah, I double checked it. There's the first disappointment of the day. Oh, fellow was really hoping 20 bucks would be the fix. Whoop, guess we'll just throw that voltage regulator up on the shelf for another day. What do you do if the hose blows while you're taking this off? Well, let's get this thing over to the shop so we can get to work on the forks. I got several things I need to get relocated today. Just bucket off here first. Quite see, we're going by feel. How are we feeling? No, not great, not great. Not great. How's that feel? Looks better. Oh yeah. Okay. So the part that kept failing on this is this piece kept bending up. So we got to come up with a way to keep that locked down when it gets under heavy pressure. Step one though, we got to get her beat back to where she needs to be. Yeah, man, it doesn't look bad at all. We just got to get it to stay there forever and always, or at least till Tuesday. I don't know what's on Tuesday, but surely a swing of luck. make something out of that. I'm getting my CAD system out here, but one thing I'm thinking, I want to come up and make a plate that does this and catches it in a couple different spots. On the top side, thinking on the bottom side, putting a plate that goes from there to there to try to keep that from rolling up. You gotta be comfortable when you're doing high quality engineering like this. I like where we're going. We'll just set up shop on the bucket over there, and we'll run everything off the Blue Eddy for the grinding part of this. So this is what we're starting with. So I do still plan on building heavy duty forks for this backhoe at some point in time, but I'm just nowhere near time-wise or material-wise to be doing it right now, and I need the lifting capacity of the backhoe. So the goal is to get these things reinforced enough that if I ever do need them on the backhoe, I can still use them, but they're still light enough to be utilized on the John Deere 755 you see sitting right there. So here's what we're looking like. That's how that one's going to fit on there. We may end up clipping that corner a little bit, but we'll see once we get her welded on. This has ripped a couple times right down the middle of the weld, not on the edge of the weld like poor penetration, just a tremendous amount of force ripping everything. So we're going to gouge that corner out, re-weld it, tie this in, weld it. On this one, it's going to fit like that. I kind of just ran this wild because I didn't know what it looked like, but it looks like to me we can just do this, cut it back to there maybe, and cut that off flush, and that'd fit right on top of there, tying everything into that, and we could weld to the front too. Yeah. I think I got just enough time left this afternoon to get these welded on there. I'm not bragging by any means here, we're self-taught, but I am going to show off what I would consider a little bit of improvement, primarily on my verticals. I don't know how well they're showing up on the camera, but I think my verticals are starting to look a little better. A lot of people ask how come man behind the scenes, Aaron Boom, and I don't get together and he can give me some welding lessons. We've talked about it dozens of times and we've tried to make arrangements, but it just never works out. We're both just so busy, so it's kind of a difficult thing to do. I would definitely be up for it someday. We're just, schedules just haven't matched up for the past couple years. We're busy people. So what I'd like to do is just outside the width of these, run another plate from here back to here, maybe even all the way down to that. I don't know if I'll get that carried away with it or not. So this is about an inch wider. Look at that little feller. Just living his best life. Oh, I hope those welds aren't still hot. Oh no. Well, that happens. Anyway, this is about an inch wider than that plate. So we're looking like right there. This is what we came up with. We'll just leave that curve. That's in the plate that I'm using. And the way it worked out, I got two of them that are identical. So it's just got a little curve to it. That's just fancy, you know. Little class to it. Weld that all in place on both sides. Just make some reference marks where I need to clean the paint off at. That's still toasty. It's not bad. Well, that's weird. It's weird. I could have sworn I heard somebody talking, but I guess it's just all in my head. Anyway, those are on there now. I got 20 minutes left of what I can work today. Daddy-daughter dance tonight. Can't miss that. So that's not enough time to get the material moved that I need to get moved, but it is enough time to kind of put a little bit of cleanup on this piece. And then in the morning, we can start getting stuff shuttled around. So you've been with the channel for a while, you know we're more of a function over form type of thing, a utilitarian purpose. It's not going to be the prettiest, fanciest looking set of forks. Definitely a lot going on here, but I still like to go through with the grinder, kind of clean things up a little bit, take a flap wheel, soften all the edges. That way if I'm ever using it, I bump my knee on it or run my hand across it, I'm not hurt myself quite as much, a little bit more comfortable to use for a clumsy fellow like myself. So that's kind of the goal, and we might even get a little crazy and spray paint part of it. Probably just the top though. I'm not that ambitious today. I've been slowly getting the lean-to over here all cleaned out so I can get things like the little John Deere here backed in here out of the weather, a little stick picker upper rig out of the weather, the little zero turn out of the weather. Birds are beautiful this morning. Just a snug fit, that's fine. I jammed him in here with the 755, but it was all that little tractor wanted, and I think I had to do one at a time. If I'm not mistaken. Oh, hold on. What kind of wizardry? So the plan is to just turn the bottom side of this slab into a caterpillar. I've got 8 of these casters randomly rolling around, well, laying around. So caterpillar conversion complete. 8 casters on it, best I could, without actually getting underneath the thing, or way underneath it. Let's see what happens. Now here's the trick. We gotta try to get that slab through that door. That's gonna be a little tricky. Now width-wise, we should be pretty good, but approach-wise, she's kind of tricky. What is that? Why do things always have to get me here? a rub on that door, it's not going to hurt my feelings any. We can get her close and then maybe shove her from the other side. All right, I need the backhoe to stay put. Yeah, I think we're far enough in that we can get her to balance. I wonder if I can, let me get a lever. Oh, here's a lever. Set this underneath just to kind of shock it a little bit for me. See if we can't back out from underneath that. And if we can sneak out from underneath this thing, and then get under this end of it. Nice and easy like. We're not going to be scraping our trim, but you know, that's okay. Raise that up. Can't work that in. A little awkward, but best things in life are. Now the question is, can we roll our Caterpillar? I think so. Beautiful. Two lovely oak slabs drying out for some kind of unknown future. I love it. And I love this building. What a treat. All right, let's go get the next thing. And this is probably the thing I'm more excited about. Now, as long as those forks don't break off on the way up, we'll be all right then. In case you're not the best detective, there's sheeting, there's a lift, and there's a building that needs sheeted up high. So yeah, next video is going to be getting that sheeted And then maybe that video after will be framing in the wheelhouse down here on the ground and using the not a crane to crane it into position. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Also, that's why man behind the scenes was up here. Man behind the scenes, dirt perfect, and Lord Muck himself delivered this lift up here for us to use. I'm pretty excited about it. We got some other projects around the property we're going to tie into it with as well. As far as the reinforcements on here, I mean, it held. I still don't think I'd want to use those for heavy use all day long, like if we were packing a bunch of logs in and out of the woods or something like that. But I do think that will hold us over for just moving some heavier stuff around that the 755 can't pick up, to just get us by until we either buy a set of heavier forks or build a set of heavier forks. It's going to be that good in between. It's going to get us by. You guys get it. We're just out here trying to survive, just trying to make it from one day to the next, getting everything done we need to get done. Appreciate you watching. I'll catch you on the next one. I hope so.